everyone. Welcome to the undergraduate admission through recommendation by overseas high schools online information session. This session will be conducted in English, but if you wish to listen to the Chinese version, you can go on to our YouTube channel to find the recording from yesterday. So I have two reminders before we get started. So first, we're going to send out relevant information such as the recording of today's session through email after the session is over. If you haven't signed up yet, please scan the QR code to the right to sign up and leave your contact information. So second, we will be conducting our Q&A section through the Slido platform. Please join through the QR code to ask questions and we will answer them at the end. So first, just to test out that Slido works for everyone, if you can just log on, scan the QR code, get on Slido, enter our code, and please tell us where you are from so we can also get a better idea of what we should focus on today. All right. Thank you everyone for answering the question. I'm happy to see people from all over the world come join us today. So we're gonna get started right now. So just a quick reminder, if you're interested in studying in Taiwan at all, one thing you have to be aware of is student status. So under the big umbrella of overseas students, we have international students, overseas Chinese students, Hong Kong and Macau students, and these all have different regulations. But for most of today's, if you are from Hong Kong or Macau, you will be categorized with the overseas Chinese student, even though there might be slight differences. So this is important to know because it will affect your tuition, the programs that you can apply to, and the application date, application channel, and all that. So if you're confused on what student status you may qualify for, so on the right-hand side, we have an overseas student status eligibility check tool. So if you just scan the QR code and go onto the website, after you answer a few questions, you're gonna get a better idea of what status you qualify for. So it's very possible that you qualify for both statuses. So just keep that in mind as we keep going today. So you can see here, if you qualify as an overseas Chinese student, you have two admission pathways into NTU. So one, which is what we're talking about today, you apply directly to NTU through what we call recommendation by overseas high schools. You also have the other options of getting allocated to a school through the University Entrance Committee for overseas Chinese students, and that is what we call 海联会分发. So you have two options here, but today we're talking about recommendation by overseas high schools. A little bit more about our agenda today. So first, I'm Vivian. Once again, I will be talking about NTU's programs and all of NTU advantages. And then Michelle from Admission will talk about applying to NTU. And then we have invited two students from Indonesia to share their experiences with you. And lastly, on the Slido platform, we're going to answer questions at the end. So let's begin with a video.
NTU's interdisciplinary courses broaden my vision for the future.
And the academic freedom allows me to explore and learn in any way I want.
Everyone here has a vision for the future. We are all growing together.
Shh.
Studying in NTU is convenient and safe.
I think I found my rack track here. Regardless of the challenges ahead, I am really enjoying the journey.
矢野七海です。日本から来ました。
제 이름은 변지원이고 저는 한국에서 왔습니다.
Ligama lami nguMpendulo Mthethwa, ngisuka eSwatini.
Nama saya Sherin, saya dari Indonesia.
Me llamo Elena y vengo de España. And we are all NTU.
Let's first look at some of the reasons numerous overseas students choose to come to Taiwan each year. We rank number 1 on the Asia Academic Freedom Index, 4th safest nation in the world. And Taipei itself, where NTU is located, is the 14th best student city in the world according to the UK QS ranking. In addition, Taiwan offers affordable tuition fees and cost of living, especially in comparison to Europe and North America, while offering the same education quality. So let's take a look at a map of Taiwan. So NTU is located in Taipei, which is the capital city of Taiwan. It's a very convenient location because we are close to 2 airports, and you can there's public transportation available to get you from the airport to our campus very easily. And Taiwan's location within Asia is also very central, so it's very easy for you to go home, for you to travel to other countries. We have several campuses in Taiwan. Most of our students are going to be on the main campus in Taipei, but we do have other campuses and also experimental farm and experimental forest in Taiwan. So I will be sharing 3 reasons why you should consider studying at National Taiwan University. So first, we are a top-ranked university worldwide. Currently, we are ranked number 63 in the world on the QS University ranking and 26 in Asia. And we have consistently always been the best university in Taiwan. We also offer comprehensive academic programs. Currently, we have 17 different colleges, 61 departments, and more than 150 graduate institutes. We also have strong global connections with more than 700 partner institutions from over 60 countries and regions in the world. Students have a lot of options for studying abroad or to go on a summer internship. And this global network also enhances NTU's international visibility and recognition. So looking a little bit more at ranking, even if it might be an abstract ranking, we've chosen some university that we are ranked among as, so you can get a better idea of the educational quality that NTU offers. Currently, we have 17 different colleges, and you can see here that we also have newly established colleges as well. NTU really believes in responding to today's current trends, which is why in 2021 and also last year in 2024, we have established new colleges to respond to these new problems. If you want to see a comprehensive list of all the programs that we offer, you can go onto our overseas student admission website to see the programs under these colleges. So because we are in an English session today, so I want to mention specifically the English taught undergraduate programs that we have. So currently we have 9 different fully English taught programs, but 3 will be open to applying as an overseas Chinese student. And those 3 is the Global Program in Semiconductor under International College, Intelligent Engineering and Technology under the College of Engineering, and Biotechnology and Food Nutrition under College of Bioresources and Agriculture. So if you're applying as an overseas Chinese student, you have these 3 programs to choose from if you're not so confident in your Chinese. So in case you're wondering, the other programs are open to international students. So as I've mentioned before, if you happen to qualify for both student statuses and you want to apply to, for example, the Economics English Taught program, you will then apply as an international student. Then the English Taught Economics program will be available to you. NTU is quite a big university. In total, we have 34,000 students. About half of are undergraduate students and about half are graduate students. So about 10% of this 34,000 students come from overseas, and you can see on the right where the majority of our overseas students come from. So if we're adding in non-degree students, such as summer program students, language school students, over in 1 year, we actually have more than 7,000 international students. So the campus itself is very, very international friendly. You see a lot of people who look different from you. You hear a lot of different languages just walking on campus. The initiative that NTU has been really promoting in the recent year is NTU Beyond Borders. So we hope that students come to NTU will brighten their horizons by looking beyond Taiwan. And we're trying to do this through non-degree programs such as exchange programs, summer programs, and also other overseas internship program, and also student activity that lead to exchange with international universities. So for example, the exchange student program is very popular with our students. So a lot of students go abroad for either 1 semester or 1 school year. And because we have a lot of international partners, we have a lot of schools to apply to and to potentially have the chance to experience a different culture, to learn a new language. So you can see here, these are some of the international partners that we have. We also offer dual degree programs. So this is a chance to get 2 degrees, and then you will also get the study abroad experience. Because NTU is the oldest and also the most prestigious university in Taiwan, we also have a lot of distinguished alumni who are very important to Taiwan's history. So as you can see here, we have many alum who are international award winners. And then one fun fact is that every single president so far of Taiwan has attended NTU for one of their degrees. So in addition, we also have pioneers and innovators in industry. So if you are looking to start a career or to do research in this area, one thing you can trust is that NTU has a lot of connection that can help you reach the people you need. So more about internship. We understand that students want internship experience while they're in Taiwan, and we recognize that for overseas students, it's a little bit harder to get internship because of maybe the language barrier and also maybe because you lack the local connection. So that is why our office, the Office of International Affairs, has started a program called the NTU International Mentorship Program. So how the program works is that you will apply to the program, and then we will match you with one of our partner companies, and you will do your summer internship this way. And we really hope that overseas students will also get a chance to get a taste of Taiwan's working culture and to get a better idea of what you want to do in the future. So we also have an overseas version called the NTU Overseas Internship Program. So it's the similar idea, but you will do your internship overseas. So these are some of the partner organizations that we have. You can see that they span across public sector, civil sector, private sector, and more. So you might be curious, and you can also, while you're a student here, you can also have a part-time job or internship. So during the semester, students can legally work in Taiwan, provided that they get their work permit. So you can actually work up to 20 hours per week during the semester, and there will be no restriction during the summer or winter breaks. And a lot of our students, our overseas students, work as research assistant. They also work at offices, or they work as student ambassadors, student assistants. And there is also an option of finding a job and staying in Taiwan after your graduation. So just in case you're not familiar, this is a map of Taipei, and the main campus is in the Gongguan area. So you can see that we are located in a very prime location. So we are close to Da'an Park, we are close to Yongkang commercial area, the Gongguan area. We have a really good view of Taipei 101 for our campus. And because we have a very convenient MRT system, it's very easy for you to get around. The entire city will be your backyard. So this is a downtown campus that houses 3 colleges. However, the majority of our undergraduate students are going to be on the main campus in the Gongguan area. So it's quite a big campus, which is why a majority of our students either have their own bike or they use the public bikes to get around campus. A little bit about the learning and research resources available at NTU. We have experimental farms, labs, all kind of greenhouses, hospitals that are on campus. So if you're interested in getting involved with research, which you absolutely have the chance to, even when you're an undergraduate student, it's very easy to do so because NTU has all kind of labs at various research levels on campus. We also have the biggest physical collection of a university library in Taiwan. So if you just Google National Taiwan University, most likely you're gonna find the image in the middle, and that is the main library. So in addition to the main library, we also have college libraries and also department libraries. And these locations are often students' favorites to study at during final season. We want all of our overseas students to feel very comfortable on campus. So if you're coming in here as an international student, the Office of International Student Affairs will take care of you. If you're coming here as an overseas Chinese student, the Overseas Chinese and Mainland Chinese Student Advising Division, which is what we call 侨路组, will take care of you. Whatever problem you have, we will try our best to support you. So we also have the Center for Student Wellbeing, Health Center, Student Counseling Center, Career Center, Academic Advising Office, all these resources that you can utilize to get the best experience in university. So this is what a typical year looks like. So we actually have 2 semesters in one school year, and one semester is around 16 weeks. So usually students get on campus early July, late August, where you will go through orientation. And then throughout the year, we host a variety of cultural events and also school-wide events. So you can be sure that there's always something fun going on, and we will make sure you feel more at home in Taiwan. Because we have quite a lot of students, we also have more than 400 student clubs, and they basically cover all interest area. We also have sports team with more than 20 different sports and more than 30 teams that you can try out for. So one important thing I want to note is that we have a lot of overseas student associations, and these student associations are often away from home for our students. Even before you get onto campus, they will get in contact with you. When you come here, they might pick you up from the airport, and these are just good resources for you to utilize. Whatever problem you have, your 学长学姐 are going to take care of it. So now we're going to watch a video that showcases our vibrant student life at NTU.
Welcome to the 2025 National Taiwan University World Carnival Festival.
I truly welcome all of you to come to this 2025 NTU Carnival Festival. Now we count in our campus, we have more than 7,000 international students. The World Carnival is an event that brings them together to showcase their culture, cuisine, and story. It's a powerful reminder of how connected we all are.
They serve their local food with passionate students. So I wish everyone here enjoy their passion and their food.
So I believe culture is a very powerful bridge that connects heart across the world, across the borders.
Food itself is not only a taste in your tongue, it's an extension of the culture.
The best strategy is to interact with real person and enjoy real delicious food. And this is the purpose of what we have today. I sincerely hope that all our guests enjoy the food and the service provided our students. And when you go to the booth, please do not hesitate to send your encouragement to our students.
This event has been organized so much with care and passion by our students. So I want to extend my appreciation to all the students and staff and colleagues who made today possible. Your participation truly embodies NTU's international spirit.
So that was the NTU World Carnival Festival that's hosted each year in March, and it's a very, very big event on campus. Now, onto accommodation. Overseas students are prioritized for on-campus housing, and we have general dorms and other options for our students. So here's a little bit about our tuition fees. So the majority of programs take 4 years to complete. Only a few takes 5 or 6 years, but the majority will be 4 years. And you can see here, this is another difference between international students and overseas Chinese students. So international students, tuition fees are higher. So that will be the same for new programs as well. So this is our estimated cost of living for students to consider. Now I will hand it over to Michelle, who will walk you through the application steps.
Okay, so everyone, I'm Michelle from the admissions office, and I will be following Vivian's presentation. I will be talking about the admission application process. So before starting, there are several steps that you need to check about the different requirements that you need to fulfill to apply to NTU. So before starting, feel free to scan the QR code first to take a look at our admissions website. So basically everything is on the website. So as Vivian just mentioned, there's like mainly 2 different student statuses and different application methods for different student statuses. So today, for the overseas Chinese students, we're going to focus on the recommendation by overseas high school. Okay, so let's first take a look at the application timeline. So this timeline is mainly for 2026 September entry. And for the recommendation by overseas high school for overseas Chinese students, the application has started and will end on September 18th. So remember to submit your application before the application deadline, okay? And also here, for your reference here, we also have the UECOCS application timeline and also the international student timeline just for your reference. So we'll quickly go through how this recommendation by overseas high school channel process. So basically, first of all, students will have to contact their high school teacher to first get the nomination by their high school. And then after being nominated, you'll be able to log into the application system, fill in the personal information, select the departments that you wish to apply to, upload the relevant documents, and also the school representative will have to upload the recommendation letters for you. And also you will have to submit the application fee and these to complete the application process to submit your application. So I will start by telling about the student user guide of the application system so that you will have the better picture about each step and what you will have to do. So first of all, as I just mentioned, you'll need to first be recommended by your high school. So after being recommended, you'll receive this email giving you the account and also the password to log into the application system. So then you just log in with the account and password you provided in the email. And then you have to check all the information for the declaration and authorization to just click I agree to process your application. So the first step will be the personal information that we need to collect from different students. So it basically contains your personal information, mailing address, family information, and educational background, and so on. So on the left, you can see the application procedures. So there's like a very clear picture of each step, what you'll be having to do to submit your application. And after the first step is done, then we'll continue to the second one, which is the department selection. So here you'll be able to select the departments and the universities that you're interested in. So as for this application channel, we have an NTU system which consists of NTU, NTNU, and NTUST. So there's like 3 universities that you can apply. And for each university, you can apply up to 5 programs, making it 15 in total. So remember to choose the department preferences as they also matter in your application. And on the right, there's going to be the language of instruction of each program. So based on the language instructions, you will have to submit relevant documents of your language proficiency. So that's on the third step. So based on the department that you're applying to for a Chinese top program, you will need to submit at least a Chinese certificate at CFR A2 level or above. And for English top programs, you will need to submit a English proficiency certificate at least CFR B2 level or above. Yeah, so there are some exemptions for submitting the language proficiency certificate. It's gonna be on the page 4 of the admission guideline. Yeah, so please select the documents that you have first here, and then in the required documents, you will have to submit the certificate that you have obtained. So for the fourth step, it's gonna be the required documents based on the different student statuses. You will have to submit different documents for your application. And so basically everything needs to be submitted on the application system, including your autobiography, your study plan, and other documents that might support your application stronger. Say, for example, if there's any like international examinations or like awards that you have received, this will help better to benefit your application. So you can feel free to submit as supporting documents to benefit your application. All right, so next you can see the recommendation letter portals, which will have to be uploaded by your high school representative, as I just mentioned before. So here you will be able to check whether the school representative or your teacher have uploaded the recommendation letter for you. So if this only if this step is completed, then there's gonna be like the checkbox on the left. That's gonna be a checkbox over there that's in green, which means the recommendation letter is incompleted. And just for a reminder, for each department that you're applying to, you will have to submit at least one recommendation for each program. So the last part will be the payment for the application fee. So basically you pay by credit card, and after you complete the payment, you have to wait for 10 seconds at least before closing the browsers, because it takes some time for the bank to respond. And then after that, please click the refresh payment status. And after everything is done, you can see here's gonna be like the checkbox that said the payment is done. And on the left here, you can see that every step is completed. So please be informed that only when all the application process are completed, you will be able to click preview. Otherwise, you will not be able to process your application. So after clicking preview, there's gonna be all the information that you submitted through the application portal, so that you can make a final check to see if there's anything you need to revise or adjust. So if not, then basically if there's anything you need to correct, you can just click cancel and then just upload or revise the information that you need to revise. And if everything's done, then you can click submit. And after submit, it means that your application is officially submitted. You'll receive this page. You'll fall onto this page which says that your application has been successfully submitted, which means that we have received your application. And if there's anything missing, you can just check this box in missing documents. There will be the list of the missing documents that you need to be revised, or like need to moderate the documents, and you'll receive an email notifying that there's some documents missing. So you can just log into the application and check what kind of documents you're missing and make your revision here. So last but not least, you can check the application results after the application result has been announced. And for the admission decision, it is set to be updated on November 27th. And the official admission result is subjected to be announced in late February on 2026. Yeah, so this is a very brief overview of each application process and different steps that you need to know for the application that you need to submit for the recommendation by overseas high school. Okay, so let's follow on to the minimum language proficiency requirements. As I just mentioned, based on the program that you're applying to, there's like different language of medium of the programs. So if it's a program conducted in Chinese, then a Chinese proficiency certificate at A2 or above is required. As for English top programs, a English top proficiency certificate of at least B2 level or above will be required. And here you can see there are some exemption criteria, but there are still some documents that you need to submit. Say, for example, if you're a native speaker of Chinese, you'll need to briefly submit a self-statement about your daily use of the language. And for previous degree taught in English Chinese or majoring in English Chinese in your previous degree, you will have to upload the certificate to prove that your degree is fully taught in English or Chinese. Okay, following on, here's the scholarship for overseas Chinese students. So basically, for students submitting their applications through the recommendation by overseas high school, you will be automatically considered for this scholarship, and no further documents or procedures are required. The application and the admission decisions and the scholarship result will be announced at the same time. And here's another scholarship from the government, which is called the OCAC scholarships. So this student will have to apply directly to the overseas mission in their country. So based on different criteria, there are different amount of scholarship awarded. So you can check the OCAC website for detailed information about the criteria to apply for different types of scholarship.
All right, so that was about apply to NTU. Now we're going to begin our student sharing portion. So first it's going to be Javier.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Javier and I'm from Indonesia and I'm currently pursuing my graduate studies in industrial engineering. And I was in chemical engineering back when I was in bachelor's degree for my past 4 years. So today I'm gonna give some or present some kind of my insights or some experiences to all of you. And okay. Just a little bit of my major, further explanation of my major back in the bachelor studies. So basically, chemical engineering is closely tied to physics and some mathematics and some derivation, and it's kind of a little bit related to chemistry. So it's not that heavily correlated, but it's just a little bit related to it. Just for your reference, so if you are trying to enroll in chemical engineering for the sake of chemistry, then you might have to think it twice, because NTU also provides chemistry major in NTU, so you might think of apply for chemistry instead. And by the way, my chemical engineering is also Chinese taught program, so yet for the reference. And a little bit sneak peek of my courses back then in chemical engineering. So basically some kind of classes like chemical reaction engineering basically is like classroom classes and then quizzes, doing some quizzes and take exams, something like that. As for the laboratory part, we do a little bit of chemistry related part like organic chemistry lab, physical chemistry lab, and journal chemistry lab, and also one of the core labs in our department is like the chemical engineering lab. So basically we did a lot of energy balance and mass balance and some kind of basically thermodynamic stuff. And yeah, and these are my companions for those past 4 years that we've grown together in this chemical engineering and graduated together here. And these are my graduation photos, and basically NTU usually did the graduation event in every third week of May, basically, and you can check the calendar to make sure that everything is fine. And yeah, why am I choosing NTU at the first place? So like one of the biggest reasons is because of the quality education. So as has been previously mentioned, NTU ranks for like 63 in current year, and the academic fee is actually remarkably cheap. So I will say like the CP value, the cost to performance ratio is kind of like high. That's why I'm choosing NTU in my undergraduate and also graduate studies here at NTU. And also second part is the language acquisition. So basically, because after you have been, because especially my major is like Chinese thought program. So after you have like go through 4 years, then you are like kind of mastering the Mandarin itself. So after you work in the future, companies usually kind of like take it as a really good skills and Chinese speaking ability. And the third part was the cultural diversity. So in here NTU, there are a lot of people coming from different background, different ethnics, and yeah, basically different countries as well. So you will be like kind of accustomed to it. So especially because I'm working to a lot of internships too here at NTU and provided by the NTU.OIA as well. So after you get used to a lot of like different backgrounds, different perspectives of thinking, then when you're working in the future, then you will be like more get used to it. The fourth part is the independence. So basically, living abroad like forces you to step up, make you step out of your comfort zone, and I saw that as an opportunity for my personal growth, and that is the four major parts why I'm choosing NTU. And here are some unit preparation tips and tricks just for reference. So the first one is like translate and learn. For the translate part, I will suggest you to like learn a little bit about your majors technical languages. Like for example, in my chemical engineering, we talk a lot about thermodynamics, like which is like the 热力学. So make sure that you understand a little bit of the Chinese technical ability, especially when it is about your major. And learn Chinese by like trying to communicate with a lot of locals here or Taiwanese or maybe people who have already mastered in using Chinese in the daily conversation. Yeah, to make sure that when you progresses through these 4 years, you might have not encountered any problem with it. Second part, if you encounter any problems, any difficulties during your studies, try to seek clarification to your seniors who have already been more experienced in going through the major with the same major as you, of course. And yeah, basically ask them to make sure that you don't stuck that much at that particular concept or that particular studies. Third part is to connect with people. So yeah, as I've been also said before, NTU really comes from different backgrounds. So with a lot of connections that you build during your studies, it might be benefited in your future as well. And the fourth part also been mentioned by Vivian. There are a lot of student association or clubs in NTU. So try to join the events by every clubs to make sure that you can have like build a connection with them as well. Okay. And I will, because I'm from Indonesia, so I will slightly explain. Because if you're not from Indonesia, basically a lot of student association held similar events as well. So can just like listen to it. So basically, NTU-ISA is NTU Indonesian Student Association it's the association made for Indonesian students. So we held a day orientation camp every single year, and then also some large events like a Brick and Fuse Festival made by OIA, and we collaborated to provide a variety of cultures to students to let them know Indonesian, and then also like some events like Halloween and also live coaching, and also some tutoring program for Indonesian students who might stuck in Chinese or in calculus. Then we usually try to make a program to make sure that they are not that really stuck in those two things. Yeah, and here are those two internships that I have been through during my undergraduate studies. The leftmost part is the Select Florida company office assistant intern, and the right part is the Hitachi Energy as a project assistant intern. And both of them are provided by NTU-OIA through the mentorship program. So by doing these two internships, actually I was like kind of know more and do more something that outside of the classroom, meaning that I will be more experienced after my graduation because I have already been more experienced in working in the company life instead of just sitting in the classroom and listen to the lecturer. And for cultural challenges that I think all of us might encounter, especially when we are not from Chinese speaking country or using Chinese as second language. The first part, of course, is the language barrier. But the only way to overcome is that you have to try to communicate with a lot of Taiwanese, a lot of locals, or people who have mastered Chinese in a daily conversation that makes you can be more familiar with the Chinese. And the second part is the cultural differences. So I just mentioned that the transportation here is really convenient because like back in my hometown, we usually use motorcycles or cars a lot, but in here we use a lot of like MRTs and also buses. And the recycled trash, so also in here, like we usually store a lot of trashes, like cans, glasses, maybe some journal waste, food waste. So make sure that everything is stored in order. And for the third part is the convenience store. So here again, it's really convenient as the name was, because we can buy a lot of things in a convenience store. They provide a lot of things. You can buy ice cream, tea, coffee, a lot of stuff here. And the third part, as I've been also mentioning, independence is kind of like things that we have to learn. So why not learn it now in the university? So just try to learn it in here, like you have to try to do everything here in university and to make sure that in your future, like you're not really like stuck in like maybe tidying up your room or maybe cleaning up the floor or something like that. And okay, just a little bit of tips for personal statement. And before that, I think just like to make sure that if you're trying to apply through this system, try to make sure that you have already informed your teacher to apply through the application system as well, because that's kind of like critical part, especially when you're near the deadline of the application system. So try to keep that in mind. And okay, so for the personal statement, the first part is to write the affirmative sentence. So try not to write a lot of negative sentences. For example, instead of writing "I do not like physics," try to write like I will willing to learn more about economics or stuff like that. So try to not write any sentences that are too negative or including like not, dislike, or something like that. Second part is to reveal the potential strengths. So implying from the previous statement, try to write strengths that is related to your major, and to make sure that the people who are reading your CVs or your personal statement knows what you really wanted. And the third part is to be authentic. So try to write your own CV or your own personal statement by yourself. Okay, not by just like using a template from the internet, because that might be a little bit too template. So just write everything, if possible, from scratch, by yourself, to make sure that the this personal statement is only you. And the third part is to proofread and provide feedback. Okay, so make sure that after you have written things down, try to ask your mentors or maybe teachers or someone who is more experienced in that kind of thing, in personal statement things, to proofread and check whether there's an error in typos maybe or some wrong punctuation, to make sure that you don't make that kind of fatal mistake, and ask them to give some feedback for you to make a better personal statement in the future. And okay, then that concludes all of my presentation, and I think we would like to switch to our second student sharing, which is Anya. So let's welcome Anya.
Hello everyone, so nice to have all of you here today. Now on top of Javier's sharing, I will tell you more about going to Taiwan and my experiences while I am in Taiwan and in NTU. A brief introduction first. My name is Lavinia Hidayat, but I'm usually called Anya, and right now I'm going to be a third-year student in Biotechnology and Food Nutrition Department, which I will talk about more later, and I am from Jakarta, Indonesia. So first of all, why did I choose Taiwan? So I personally have always wanted to go overseas, and I feel like by going overseas, you grow a lot. You go out from your comfort zone, you meet new people, you live in a whole new place, you live alone, you get to budget your own finances, so you learn so much. So I feel like that is only something that you can achieve by going overseas instead of staying in your own city. So I do that for the growth and for the experience. And of course, learning Chinese. As we all know, Chinese is basically the international language alongside of English right now. So I feel like learning Chinese is a very plus point. And even though I am in an English program, but you subconsciously still learn Chinese through the daily interactions, through buying stuff, through talking with the strangers on the street, or even if you don't do anything, you just have to go outside. Everyone around you is speaking Chinese. So you get to learn little by little, and maybe you're not as fast as people who are in Chinese programs, but then you still learn Chinese. So it's a very good point. And that's why I came here too, because my Chinese is still so basic. And then the living cost. So as someone coming from Indonesia, I feel like the living cost in Taiwan is pretty similar. It's not that far. Of course, it depends on your lifestyle, but the living cost is pretty okay. And as for the dorms, I can say it's like around you can get 9,000 per semester. So I feel like the living cost here is very affordable and you can explore so much. And of course, part-time jobs. So besides studying and exploring new experiences, you get to get a part-time job here too. So you get to side hustle, you get to earn your own income, and through all of that, you get to also slowly become more financially independent. So I feel like by coming to Taiwan, you just get a very broad experience and you get to learn so much from different aspects. So that's why I chose Taiwan. Because part-time jobs might not be that easy in other countries, especially for a student. And so why NTU? I personally chose NTU because, of course, it's the number one in Taiwan. So that really helped in terms of recognition and also for the partnerships worldwide. Why did I mention this? Personally, I feel as a student, this really helps in terms of when you want to find internships, when you want to find exchange programs. Since NTU is already known worldwide, they have lots of partnerships with other universities in around the world. So that way, it opens a gate for you to explore new things outside, and NTU helps bridge that for you. So you don't have to do all the work by yourself. So that really helps. And for the English program, I'm personally in an English program, and it really helps because my Chinese is still so basic. It's enough for conversational, but then like for academic languages, it's still not enough. So the English program really helps me in settling in Taiwan. So in terms of academics, it's all in English, so I have no problem with the language adjustment, but then I just have to adjust with having conversations with people and just adding more vocabulary for my daily conversations. And for the facility and activities, NTU is so complete with these, starting from sports to labs to everything, even gardens, lakes. We even have our own police station, we have our own healthcare place. So it's just so complete, and you can find anything in NTU. So in that in that aspect, NTU is very complete in terms of facility. And now about my department, biotechnology and food nutrition. I am actually the first year for this major, and it's a new one. So it's still developing, and there's still so much room to grow. So about this department, briefly so far, since I've only finished my second year, of course we get PE, and then we get the standard courses like chemistry, maths, and then biology, and we have lab courses too, and we have elective courses. Now, what I feel is the plus point from this department is that there are two tracks, biotechnology and food nutrition. So we can actually choose which one we want to focus on more. So if you only like food and you're not really interested in biotechnology, you can take this too, because you can choose your elective courses. You don't have to take the biotechnology ones. You can just focus more on food. And but of course, in the first year, you have to take like all the standard courses. But yeah, you can choose your track, and it's really convenient if you want to explore new things. And along the way, you might even find new interests. So this is some pictures from my lab courses, and yeah. So we have a lot of experiments. We learn through every little thing. We learn from scratch because I have no experiences in labs before, but they guide you through it. And then, yeah, these are just some of the pictures from the lab courses we took. And the picture in the middle is our food course, where we learned about gluten, I think. So we were making a turnip cake. So yeah, there are like lots of practical activities as well, not just books. And okay, so why this major? Besides the one I talked about, so we have two focus tracks, so we can actually choose by ourselves. I feel like because this is an English major, no, English program, we get to meet people from all around the world too. So in my class, there's some from Spain, there's from Korea, from Japan. So it's just very international, and you get international exposure just from your class. And for the research opportunities and overseas internships, NTU really helps you in bridging that. Even your own professor from your own department helps you with this too. So they give you access to seizing more opportunities out there. And because we're under two institutions, the food science and the biotechnology, so there are lots of choices for labs that you can learn from, and also professors that you can learn from. So you just have to approach them and just discuss with them. So we have lots of experienced professors that studied overseas as well. And I just want to emphasize that the mentors and professors from our department and basically in NTU really help us bridge to lab and industry internships. So we can really learn a lot here and also apply it outside. And we also have meals and food treated by the mentors. So we get to interact and connect with them outside of class too. So I think that this is a really good point. And we get to just build a community within the department. So some NTU experiences that I had was school canteen. I feel like it's really affordable. Let's say a meal like the one in front on the right, it can be like what, around 60 NT. So it's really okay if you want to budget and have budget meals. It's within a campus and there are lots of canteens to choose from. And then this is the library that I really like because it's a really good study spot. Like over here, the one on the left, the most left, that's from the library. So you get a view while you actually study. So I feel like it helps romanticize the process. And then the one in the middle is a matcha place in the campus, which I really like to go to if you like matcha. And then the one on the right is a cafe nearby NTU, which you can also go to study. And yeah, it's all really nice. And then this is an activity I did with my dorm friends. So we made homemade dumplings in the dorm because in the dorm you also get like a steamer, and you also yeah, you can just do anything there and just make sure it's not dirty. So we made this dumpling for Chinese New Year. And then NTU alone is, I feel like it's a really beautiful campus because there's a lot of flowers during spring, and you can also have a picnic in the park. So you can, yeah, even enjoy the campus alone. And we had a picnic last time and we learned crochet there. So yeah, you can explore the campus as well. It's really pretty. And there are also lots of sports classes to choose from. I showed these because I feel like these are the more interesting ones. There's golf, there's Pilates, there's archery, and there's Taekwondo. I personally have only took golf, and it was nice because I knew nothing about golf, but the teacher taught us from scratch, like from zero. So yeah, you can even learn new sports here, not just academics. And we also participated in the NTU 5K run. So yeah, NTU has lots of activities and events that we can join, and you just have to choose, and you can just have like packed activities throughout the year. And these are just some other events, but the NTU gym is not an event, but you can actually exercise here. NTU has their own gym, and NTU also has a job fair, which really helps you in finding internships. You can just submit your CV there, and you can get to know new companies as well through this event. It's really crowded. And as Javier also already mentioned, there is the Indonesian Association. So I've joined this too, and I got to know lots of people from this association. And we had lots of activities. There's camps, there's cooking. So there's lots of activities here. And I personally also joined the NTU Student Association Department of International Affairs. And through this, we get to know other people from other countries, not just Indonesia. So it's a very good way to bridge between cultures too. Some opportunities in Taiwan that I got to have was I also joined the Perpita. Perpita is, if you know, is a student association for Indonesians for the whole of Taiwan. So not just Taipei, not just NTU. So through this organization, I got to learn about leading projects, leading events, and also getting to know Indonesians from the whole of Taiwan, from Taipei to Kaohsiung to Taichung, basically the whole island of Taiwan. So it's also a really good organization for you to get to know new people. And Nucleate is a biotech organization that I joined too. So yeah, I got to meet people from my own major, from my own interest, and it's a whole community as well in Taiwan. And most of the people here are actually Taiwanese too. So yeah, it's a good bridge between cultures too. And I also do English teaching as my part-time job. So there's the winter camp teaching assistant, and I also became an English teacher in a public school. So you can explore so many things in Taiwan. Even the jobs that you never thought that you would actually do. I never thought I'd be a teacher, but then in Taiwan, you get to do anything you want. You can even work in a cafe, you can work in a restaurant, you can be a cook, anything. You can just try anything here. And of course, don't forget to travel because Taiwan has so many places to go. So starting from mountains, beaches, waterfalls, anything, you can explore everything here. And it's really, really beautiful and so accessible. So we even have cherry blossom, and there's the mountains like a desktop wallpaper. It's really nice. And there's also one that looks like the US. And if you like sports, you like running, you like basketball, you like cycling, we have river sides. They're also really pretty. And yeah, it's just so nice to run here at night or even during sunset. It's just so accessible. Everything's accessible and free. And of course, don't forget to have fun with your friends because this is the Bruno Mars concert we went to last year. Yeah, last year. And yeah, it was really fun. And there's just so many things that you can explore here. So what I'm trying to say here is that in Taiwan, besides internships, organizations, and job opportunities that you can get in Taiwan, in Taipei, and even bridged through NTU, you can also get many other things outside of class, like cultural exchange, traveling, and public transportations because everything is just so accessible and you can explore so much here. And of course, we don't forget diversity because in Taiwan, more people are coming from all around the world. So you get to meet so many people out there and you can learn so, so much. So see you in NTU.
So now we're gonna begin our Q&A section.
All right, so let's start from the very top. So the first question is if I want to be a psychology teacher for secondary education, do I study education in psychology? So as NTU is a research university, we do not have majors in education. However, for the NTNU, which is National Taiwan Normal University, they are very known in education and they have education related programs. So I would recommend you can take NTNU as a consideration for applying. And also you can apply through the recommendation by overseas high schools because as we just mentioned before, there's 3 universities in the NTU system. So basically for the 3 universities, feel free to apply to any one of them that you're interested in. Okay, so the next question will be the international admission routes. So I will have to mention again that for this online session, it's mainly for overseas Chinese students. So for international students, you will have to apply through the international application channel. And for the proficiency certificate, language proficiency certificate, it depends on a program that you're applying to. For Chinese taught, then you'll need to have a Chinese proficiency certificate and an A2. And for English taught programs, you'll need to have an English proficiency certificate at B2 or above. So even if you're applying for a Chinese taught program, I will also suggest you, if there's any additional English proficiency certificate that you hold, you can also submit it as supporting documents. Okay, so the next question is about the financial statement. So for the financial statement, this is only required for international students. And if you're still applying for a scholarship for international students, yes, you'll still have to submit a financial statement. Okay, so if the next question is, if we got accepted, when is the latest to accept the offer? So as mentioned on the application portal and also the admissions website, for different student status, there's different timelines. So please first refer to which application portal you're mentioning. And for overseas Chinese, it will be around the end of November to the beginning of December. Yeah, the beginning of December. Yeah. So please check the exact date on the application admissions website. Okay, so the next question is, do we as a student register the account or is the high school representative? So this, for the recommendation by overseas high schools, there's like two portals. The first one is for high school representative and the other is for students themselves. So first of all, you have to make sure that your high school representative does apply for an account first. And after they have registered for the account, they will be able to recommend you to apply through this application channel. And after they nominated you as a applicant, you will be able to log into you will receive the email and then you will be able to log in with the account and password provided in the email to the student portal. So the next is about getting accepted as the overseas Chinese students from the recommendation by overseas high school. As Javier just mentioned, there's like different documents that you need to submit in the application portal. So it's about exposing yourself, telling you your strength. And also, of course, I would say that as the high school graduation certificate and transcript are also required, I would suggest you to, of course, have a better grade, because it also helps the teachers to understand like your academic level too. And also, if you have any additional international exams to support your documents, it will also be good. So the next is about the computer science is taught in Chinese. Yes, for the computer science program, it is only taught in Chinese. So if you're considering a related program, perhaps you can consider semiconductor, which is also open to overseas Chinese students by recommendation through overseas high school. Okay, so for this question, I've just answered it before. So because we have a lot of questions, I'm just gonna skip to the next question. So what are the requirements to apply for a 2-year exchange program? So for exchange program, it usually takes like 1 semester to 1 year, not for 2 years, because there's like different requirements that you need to submit. And what universities are available for this program. So for exchange program, there's gonna be a list of our partner universities. So please check the OIA website, and for different different countries and different areas. So please check which one that you're more interested in. So do each major require some tools or materials to bring from like laptop or other important tools for the lessons? Javier, can you help us? Because there's more like students.
Okay, so every major requires different requirements for each student. So I would just say like most of the classes, most of the professors only requested for laptop or some tablets that you can write on that, or maybe papers if you do not have any of them. So, but some of the classes, but that's like kind of little classes, some professors might require you to bring their handbook or maybe buy a particular textbook for you. So yeah, just follow the regulations set by the professors beforehand.
Thank you, Javier. So the next question will be, what option should I choose to upload my TOEFL ITP certificate or high school high school recommendations? So if this is the case that you only have, I think it's ITP and IBT. So like you can select if you're taking ITP or IBT, and then select the score that you have in the application system. Do I automatically get a dorm, or I should register for the dorm? So if you're admitted, you'll receive further information about applying for the dorms, because for different student status, there's like different methods to apply for the dormitory. So you'll have to apply for it. It's not automatically. but overseas students have the priority to get in on-campus dorms. Can I apply through the overseas route now and then apply for the international route in October by only choosing one when the results are announced? Yes, so we do notice that a lot of students might both qualify as overseas Chinese and international students. So in this way, you get to decide which application portal you want to apply for. And then, but in the end, you can, if you are admitted, you can only choose one student status to enroll at NTU. My HSK was moved to September 7th, but the results takes up a month in the application and it will close on mid-Sep. So in this case, I would suggest you to first select other in the application system and then briefly make a description that you have been taking the exams, but the results are not yet out. And then for the document submission, you can upload the proof of your, like you taking the exams and waiting for the results. And after the results are out, you can just email us at N.T.Admissions@ntu.edu.tw. Okay. So for the minimum score for Chinese top programs, not for computer science and chemical engineering, because it's for overall as an NTU student, if you're applying for NTU, you have to meet the minimum requirements. So for a Chinese top program, as I just mentioned, it's CFR A2 above. So for the application, my school grades records for grade 12 is not yet out. Okay, so in case you're graduating in the current year, please submit at least your grade 10th to your current semester transcript. So say, for example, during application, perhaps you only have your year 10 and 11th high school transcript, it will be fine. But if admitted, you will have to submit all the 3 years of your high school transcript for registration. Do Malaysian Chinese count as overseas Chinese? Yes, so for basically for overseas Chinese, you have to be a Chinese descendant and you will have to stay overseas for at least 6 years from the entry that you're applying to. So if you're holding a Malaysian nationality, but you're a Chinese descendant and you have been living overseas for a continuous 6 years, then you will be qualified. But for the status of the overseas Chinese, it will have to be determined by the OCAC. Yes. So for the payment transaction, how do we pay? How and where do we transfer? So for overseas Chinese students applying through the recommendation by overseas high school, as I just showed in the application process, there's gonna be the online credit card payment method. So basically, you will have to pay through the via a credit card. Is there another way to apply besides recommending by our school? Yeah, so as I just mentioned, for overseas Chinese students, this application channel for recommendation by overseas high school is specifically for overseas Chinese. And also, if you are qualified as an overseas Chinese student, there's also the UEC OCS distributed channel for you to apply to. And if you are qualified as an international student too, you may also consider applying through the international individual application channel, which you can apply for accounts. You can create an account by yourself. Okay, so for English ability certificate, on the page of the admissions website of the language proficiency requirements, there's gonna be a list of the certificate that we accept, and SAT is not considered an English ability test certificate. So for SAT, if you have an SAT score, it can be considered for a supporting document, but it cannot replace your English proficiency certificate. Can I submit more than one recommendation letters? Yes, you can. For the recommendation by overseas high school, there's gonna be each program, there's gonna be a column that the high school representative to upload the recommendation letter. However, if you have more than one recommendation letter, please combine them into one file so that the teacher can upload it once. So how much is the registration? I believe it's gonna be the application fee to apply. So for the application fee to apply, it's gonna be NTD $2,000. So NTU-T is not a part of NTU system. For NTU system, it represents 3 schools: National Taiwan University, NTU, National Taiwan Normal University, NTNU, and National Taiwan University of Science and Technology, NTU-ST. So NTU-T is a different university. If you're gonna apply for that university, please consult them directly. So I want to ask about industrial design. So I would say, because today's host is by NTU, so for a specific course related inquiries for NTU-T or NTU-ST, I would suggest you to contact them. In the application guideline, there's going to be each contact person of each university. So feel free to contact them for more information about the courses offered by different universities. Thank you. Are Cantonese speakers considered native speakers, native Chinese speakers? I would say if your mother tongue is in Chinese, then you can be considered as a Chinese native speaker. So where do you submit your digital portfolio if it's required? So as we just mentioned and Javier just mentioned, so in the application system, there's going to be a place to upload all the required documents, including autobiography, CV, or like the study plan, and also some additional documents required by different departments. So there's gonna be, everything will be uploaded online. So make sure to log into the application system and submit all the documents before you submit the application. So NTU does provide programs from the College of Life Science. So they are 2 programs and they are taught in Chinese. So of course, yes, you can apply as an overseas Chinese student. What are the requirements for applying scholarships? So as we just mentioned before, if you're applying through the recommendation by overseas high school, as long as you submit the application before the deadline, you will be automatically considered for the scholarship and no further documents required. However, for the government scholarship, please visit the OCAC website, because there's going to be different requirements for different scholarship that you can apply for. Is there any format for the recommendation letters? So basically, we do not have a restricted format, but in the high school representative portal, there's going to be a place where they can upload the recommendation letters, and there's gonna be a template for the representatives to download if they need a format to provide the recommendations for the students. So it's fine if you use the template that we provided in the system or use your own template. Both are acceptable, yes. So may I submit a Chinese proficiency later as I'm still studying? So as we just mentioned before, if you're still taking a test and the results are not yet out, you will be you can first provide a proof of the test and then later on submit it. And if your Chinese level is not there yet, then perhaps you may consider the conditional offer. So there's going to be a page for further information regarding conditional offer. You can visit it on the admissions website. So I plan to take Bachelor in Public Policy, International Relations in English. So for NTU provides the Department of Political Science, International Relation divisions in English only for international students. So for overseas Chinese students, it's gonna be Chinese taught. So if you're planning to apply for the English taught program, please apply through the international application channel. Yes. So how do we upload the recommendation letters? So basically, as we just mentioned before, it has to be uploaded by the high school representative. Students cannot upload the recommendation letters by themselves. So yes, Philippines is considered an English-speaking country. So Under the list of the language proficiency requirements, there's going to be the list of English speaking countries. So if you have any concern about whether your country is listed as an English speaking country, please first visit the website. So dormitory at NTU is prioritized for overseas students, but it is not guaranteed because we have to because each year there's like different slots availabilities for different students. But as we just mentioned, basically for overseas students, you're prioritized for on-campus dormitory. Is SAT important in applications? Also, would personal statement have to be personalized? So for SAT, I would say that as it is a worldwide recognized exam, I would say that an SAT will help the admission committee to better evaluate each student's potential and their academic abilities. So yes, if you have any SAT A-level, O-level scores or any other examinations that are available during your application timeline, then basically you can submit it as supporting documents. So for the personal statement, I would say it is better to prioritize, to personalize each program that you're applying for, because for each program, they're looking for different personalities and different type of students. So it's always better to personalize each program, the documents for each program, rather than submitting all the same documents, okay? So as an overseas Chinese students, there's only 3 programs that are available for NTU's overseas Chinese students applying through the recommendation by overseas high school. So semiconductor, IET, and also biotech and food nutrition. These 3 programs are in English. The other are all in Chinese. Can you use the 4th semester high school report? So I would suggest that I think your 4 semesters mean like grade year 10 to 11. So as I just mentioned before, if you're graduating in the current year because you still haven't get any of your year 12 transcript yet, so it's fine to first submit the 2 years from year 10 to 11. But if you're admitted and when you register at NTU, you will have to submit the full transcript from year 10 to 12. So as a Chinese Indonesian, do I need to have a Chinese name? Yes, so for overseas Chinese student application portal, a Chinese name is required. So how do we write the study plan and what is important? I would say you will have to first browse through each department and know more about their course offering. Because based on the study plan, I think the admission committee are looking for students that have a basic information or basic picture of what the program is about. And throughout the 4-year study or 6-year study, based on the duration of each program, how you're going to improve yourself each year and how this is going to relate yourself to the program itself. It's like quite important. So I would suggest you to, before just writing the study plan, please visit the relevant website for the programs that you wish to apply to. So for the language of the personal statement, if you're applying for an English top program, the personal statement has to be right in English. And for other programs, in English or in Chinese would be fine. What if I graduate high school next year? If you're meaning that you're gonna graduate by August 2026 and you're applying for 2026 September entry, then it's gonna be fine. However, you have to graduate by the time you're gonna register at NTU. So you're a Chinese medium school. If your road proof that, yes. So if your high school is fully taught in Chinese, we only require you to submit a proof of a letter from your high school stating that your 3-year high school is completely taught in Chinese, and that will be sufficient if you're applying for Chinese top programs. Okay, so for NTUST, they do have architecture program, but for NTU, the related program will be the civil engineering, and there's like different focuses in the civil engineering program. So I would suggest you to first dig into which kind of like specific group that you're interested in to study at the civil engineering. What's the difference between a dual degree program and an exchange program? So for a dual degree program, it usually means that by studying at both two universities, you get 2 degrees from each universities, perhaps a bachelor's and another bachelor, or a bachelor plus a master's. It depends on how the MOUs is signed. And for exchange program, it usually only takes up to 1 semester and 1 year at most for more like a cultural experience in a different university of a partnership with NTU. Yeah. Can I reapply through individual application? So I think there's like 2 parts. So if you're only talking about the overseas Chinese students, so for NTU, we have the recommendation by overseas high school. If you unfortunately did not get admitted to, there's another application channel for overseas Chinese student, which is the UEC OCS distributed channel that you can apply to all the universities in Taiwan as an overseas Chinese. And for the individual application, I assume you're talking about the international students application channel. So if you're qualified as an international student, yes, you can also apply through the international student application channel. How does NTU handle scholar studies during weather events? Okay. So in Taiwan, we have like a specific regulations regarding the typhoons here in Taiwan. So depending on each city, if the typhoon is like too severe, then perhaps the city mayor can decide whether there's gonna be like a typhoon break, because it's always dangerous to leave your house or dorm to go to school if the weather is like so severe. So in that case, there's not gonna be in that case you will not be attending school for that day if the day is off due to typhoon. Yes. Can I upload my awardee or activity certificate as supporting documents? Okay, so for the supporting document sections for each program, there's gonna be a column for your supporting documents. So and they can only upload into one file with, I think, about like 5 GB max of the documents. But if you have too many award certificate or like too many activities that you would like to share with them, I would suggest you to provide a document which lists your say for example your Google Drive link, and then upload it in the supporting document column so that the admission committee will know that there's another link specifically for the documents that you wish to present to them. So the overseas program for each different universities, there's different quotas. So please refer to the admission guidelines. So for 3 different universities, there's like different quotas for each overseas Chinese program. And for the quota is shared around the school. In total is not through specific departments. Yes, so this online session is also recorded and will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. So feel free to, we're gonna be providing it online later. So please feel free to, if there's anything that you wish to like refresh or like take a look at, you can just visit our admissions website and also the YouTube channel. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
All right, so thank you everyone for coming to our online information session. We had to close the Q&A box simply because we were getting so many questions. However, if you're worried about us not getting to your question, please email us at INTadmission@NTU.edu.tw and we will get back to you. And these are all the important links. So on the left is our overseas student admission website that has all the information you need. And you can also follow us on our Instagram to learn more about our student lives. And of course, you can also check us out on YouTube. So yesterday's Chinese session is already posted on YouTube, and we're gonna upload today's session as soon as possible. So once again, thank you all for coming, and we hope you all have a good night.